A historic milestone celebration happening next week at one local library.
The afternoon celebration will turn the pages on Samuel T. Busey Memorial Library.
Anka Voss, who is the archivist at the Champaign County Archives, which are housed at the Urbana Free Library, which is what you're talking about today,
yes,
right?
I am.
Tell us a little bit about Mr. Busey.
Yes. Mr. Busey was really a founding member of the city of Urbana and mayor of Urbana, but also a decorated Civil War veteran. Of course, a really important member of the community, as were other members of his family, as was his wife, Mary E. Busey.
Yeah.
A very important family in the history of Urbana, but also the history of Champaign County.
Very much.
And it was his gift that helped create the library, right? Which is what we're celebrating.
Right. Actually, it was her gift. So that is actually a really important piece because Samuel T. Busey had actually passed at that point. He had died in an accident just recently, and Mary E. Busey offered $35,000 of her own estate towards the Urbana Free Library.
Wow.
How cool, too, that there's this little angle, because so much of history, we get the story of white men who have done everything. And here's finally this tidbit of a founding mother in a sense.
Yes. And Mary Busey and anybody who's interested should really check out our exhibit that's in place at the library, both on the first and second floor. The archive staff have worked really hard to research the history of all of the founding members of the library and supporters, and so you can read more, but especially about Mary Busey. She was, an exceptional woman, not just for the Urbana Free Library, but she was active in probably close to 20 organizations.
Wow.
And not just, a follower, but she was a mover and shaker. So
wow.
She's amazing.
A lot of energy, clearly.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Well, we're having a proclamation tonight, and then you're going to be reading it on the 7th at the celebration?
Right. Well, actually, this proclamation will be read at the celebration on July 7th by, unfortunately, Mayor Marlin can't be in town that day, but a member of City Council from Urbana will be reading the proclamation on that day.
What is the proclamation?
The proclamation is a document that really summarizes the pieces and parts of the important history of the Urbana Free Library, and talks a little bit about the fact that one of the first library societies and efforts was in 1854, and then a more concerted effort for a library was started in 1872, and the library was founded in 1874, which makes it one of the oldest public libraries in Illinois and in the United States.
And that's important, too, because public libraries, in terms of that history, like people would hoard their books, right? Private collections.
Yes, up to that point.
Sharing it with the masses.
Absolutely.
That's a big deal.
Well, the really important moment for the Urbana Free Library, it's the residents of Urbana, but other communities around the state and the country, is that up to that point, libraries were subscription libraries. You had to be a member to belong, which made it, of course, extremely limited, because not everybody had those means. When the Urbana Free Library became the Urbana Free Library in 1874, the city decided, and the citizens of the town decided that they wanted to fund a public library for everyone. So that's the important history.
Very cool.
Well, besides the exhibit that you mentioned, you've got so many fun things planned.
Great, thank you.
In celebration, you've got games and activities, music, special guests.
Yes, special guests that will be speaking at 2:30, and there will be cake and beverages. There'll be games that we are putting together in an event with, in collaboration with the Museum of the Grand Prairie. So these will be children's gifts from the early 20th century, and also we'll have a lecture in the evening by Brian Adams on Joseph Royer, who was the architect of the building, and we are celebrating the 100th anniversary.
Wonderful. I love that, too.
Live cake.
Live music, too. Local Dixieland Sextet, Carl Johnson, the New Orleans Jazz Machine.
Thank you.
That's going to be great. And then you've got something online.
Yes.
where people can check out pictures.
Sure. So the Urbana Free Library's archives, so the Champaign County Historical Archives, we've been working really hard to put lots of visual content from our collection on our Flickr page. So please check it out. Not just about the Urbana Free Library, but many other pieces of our collection. But we have a nice Flickr album on the history of the library with some artifacts, pictures, some of the noted librarians that have worked there for many years. So it's a great place to go.
So fun to look at those pictures.
You can get lost in there for hours. Yeah, I mean, online, just flipping through, it's really neat. So we'll connect you to the Flickr online at ciliving.tv, and we'll have all the details on there about the events coming up as we celebrate 100 years of the Urbana Free Library. Anka Voss, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good.